Can you hear me? Hello. Why is my avatar not showing up, you guys? Yo, Chuck Bronson, what's up, dude? You can hear me, but why is my avatar not showing up? I don't. I haven't. Hold on one second. I was just going live. What the hell in the fuck? I'm gonna remove that. Okay. Let's see.
Okay with how I
This is
categorize
actually what
my
I
experience in
was.
life because I
This is what I was looking at. Is all I was. Is all I was saying. It was like I'm just going live, kind of vibing, not giving a fuck. I have purchased an RV, and yeah, it's way better than living in like than sleeping in like a small vehicle or whatever. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot. Just FYI, and as a matter of great public importance, there's a lot of people sleeping in their cars and sleeping in like automobiles. If you haven't noticed, and a lot of them don't want to be noticed. A lot of people live this alternative lifestyle of in the car or in the camper or whatever, and they don't want to be noticed because it's a shaming thing, and it's like, you know. But I'm so fucking happy about my life and my ability to live free and sleep in my fucking car. I don't feel shame about it at all. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. Like I can't get down with like the conditioning of and the mindset of a bunch of other people that are just like they're minimizing my experience and making it appear like I'm somehow bummy just because I'm choosing to sleep in an RV. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to be honest with you, like yeah, I mean, like maybe if I had like a lot more money, I would love to live in like a house and shit. But I think that RV is better than truck or car. That is the surmise of the Auditron with the Chuck Bronson in the chat. I appreciate you viewing, my brother. I've seen your work, man. You've been going hard at what you do. I just give you mad props, bro. I can't give you enough props, dude. I cannot give you enough props, bro. I can tell you something right now, dude. I actually miss the entire scene. I miss coming in. I miss doing cop watches. As you can see from my channel activity, I recently did like a couple of cop watching things, and I was just like, "Urgh." I got the thrill, you know. It's once you go cop watch, you never go stop, you know. Um, you want an RV, okay? Actually, having an RV is actually a really good thing. We're on horizontal. If we were on vertical, if I was doing like a vertical stream, I wonder before I went live, I should have probably selected vertical or something, probably. But what kind of RV do you want, Chuck? I'm just curious. What kind of RV do you want, Chuck Bronson? I think choosing an RV is an important choice. It's an important decision. You know, I did what I had to do out of survival. Your choice might be different. got Chuck Bronson in the chat. Super happy about that. And I was just watching this guy Gordon, which is it's kind of funny actually. He's kind of an interesting person, but I don't know. Let's see what should we watch? Like yeah.
Hi, everybody. What the hell are we doing?
Gonna come after it. And enforcement, sure enough, it states it. Really bothered you that much. And there wasn't
It's just yet another aspect of the tyranny that we're living, where Americans who haven't done anything wrong.
Got it. Okay, he's not even going to understand what that is.
Just in a different form. 12, the real.
and they have. I have never had or codes or enforcements of people in their vehicles.
And then sleeping in their cars. Well,
Yo, Chuck, can you actually
more
hear the
and more
audio of the
are
thing I'm sharing?
facing
I know.
the real
The audio clear? Yay. Can I get a 5x5?
restrictions of where they can park.
Sick, bro.
Good morning or afternoon or whatever. Hello, everyone. You know, I started this adventure, this journey 6 years ago. At the time, there were not a
Hey, listen to this, Chuck. This chick talks about a police interaction, city codes, and making it impossible to sit in public places. Watch this.
lot of restrictions or codes or enforcements of people in their vehicles. Living on the streets. You know, as long as you didn't put everything out in your trash and all that, no one really bothered you that much. And there wasn't a code enforcement set in. And people kept saying, if it's something that's too good or a lot of people are going to do, they're going to come after it. And they have. I have never had so much police interaction in a long time. I didn't get to knock on the door. I got to talk at the window again. I was running my generator on a public road, gravel road, beside Walmart. I've been doing it for years. Never had a problem.
Okay, so now she's talking about she was running her generator, right? So that's interesting. Illegal to camp or be homeless in Florida. Oh my god. Exactly. That's exactly the issue right there. Illegal. You know what? In my research, Chuck Bronson, I found out that it's actually something that dates back to hundreds of years ago, actually. They've been punishing people that have been choosing to sleep, like outside and live free from society. They've been doing that for hundreds of years, if not thousands. I'm not sure. But I know definitely it's been hundreds of years that they've been doing that, and it seems like the same exact thing, dude, is going on right now. Create the conditions, for people to be homeless. Create those conditions, and then penalize the same exact people for becoming homeless. And and silence people that try to like point out the fraud. Oh shit! What can you do? Oh my god, bro. Oh fuck. Oh, by the way, just by the way, Chuck Bronson, I just want to let you know that what I consider what I'm doing right now to be, Brian from High Impact Flicks. Well, I consider what I'm doing right now to be like a scary freedom thing. Just living in an RV, you know what I mean? Like doing my own thing, like living off the bridge. I mean, off the bridge, off kind of off the grid. You know, um, it's one of those things that you him and other people have talked about as it relates to like being an aspect of scary freedom. Living off the grid, you know, is scary. You know what I'm saying? But you're free, and that's the whole thing about it. You know what I mean? It's like yes, like I'm living in a fucking RV right now, and I'm in the city. You know what I mean? And I can constantly moving my RV, and that's fine. I'm okay with it. That's great. But it is nerve wracking. It's scary. In other words, like you could be gaffled. You know what I mean? By popo or people. Just it's constant threats all around constant threats, legal threats. You know what I mean? It's weird. Legal threats everywhere, like fucking vultures, dude. Like fucking legal threats. Every other. I mean, yeah, actually, I've been very lucky uh, and smart to park in the right areas and to do the right thing. So that's another thing that you have to do when you get an RV and you want to live in it. Stealth, halfway stealth in the city, right? Because you really can't do it if you have a very big RV like I do. Check out what I have. I wish I had a picture of it, which I don't. Um, but you know what I could do is open up a picture of a 35-foot um, 1994. Here we go. So this is what I have. It's so funny, you guys. Look at this shit. Wait, there you go. I mean, that actually is exactly what I have. Look how fucking big it is right here. Look how much it sells for. This is what I have. Oh, here we go. Now you can see. So this is what I have right now. So I bought my Pace Arrow for $4,500. 4,500. Yep. It's a 1994 Pace Arrow. It's exactly the same Pace Arrow as right here. Look at what it has, guys. It's got leveling jacks. It does have exterior camera, so I can probably change out the camera that's back there since it doesn't work. I have to figure that whole thing out. But basement. Yeah, it has basement AC, which is kind of stupid, but generator Onus Marquee 7000. Yeah, it has that. It works. I can't complain about it. I'll just be like, it's a little noisy. I bet you money it needs to be serviced, and once serviced, it'll quiet down quite a bit. The carburetor it's just fucking loud, dude. So, the awning's broken on mine. The electric motor, yeah, electric motor. I don't know what that means, but generator hours. Oh, they're talking about this particular RV, but mine has an electric step. TV, dining table, sofa, bedroom, all this shit, dude. All this shit, dude. That is what my shit looks like. Right there. Hey, let me just tell you, it's driving this in the fucking like city of San Diego, like, and parking it is a you have to be so fucking strategic. It's ridiculous. But I can do it. I'm super fucking stealthy with it, and I I have a strategy. I do realize that the Constitution is actually real. The Constitution of California is real, and so is the one for the United States. They're in effect. They're 100% in effect. Or else there wouldn't be any police. Because if there's no Constitution, then there's no oath. And if there's no oath, then there's no police. So, you know, we know that we have constitutional government. Let's go. But yeah, I find it to be really fucking interesting. Um, we have a bunch of fucked up of people in the agencies, which is why, check this out, Chuck. Um, California, as well as a lot of other states, have enacted statutes specifically referencing the sovereignty of the people, right? That the people don't yield their sovereignty to the agencies which serve them, to the agencies. Like, for example, in California, it's called the Sunshine Act, right? But check it, dude. If it's Why would the sovereignty of the people be limited to simply the conduct, regulated, therein? You know what I'm talking about, bro? It's like, come on, how are you gonna let's freaking expand the meaning and broaden the reach, right, of what it means, you know when the people say that they don't yield their sovereignty to the agencies which serve them. If it's already in statute, let me show you that real quick. Hold up. What was I doing here? I'm just gonna create a new chat. I should probably not be sharing this, but it's okay. Syntax Rap, Right to Travel, Bespoke Marvel. Yes, I've been doing a lot of stuff, you guys. Instacart. Yeah. Actually, yeah, no. The answer is no. Let me see. Let me see. Dude, you fucking suck, dude. Oh, man. You know what, guys? I completely fucked that up. Okay, my mic is now not muted anymore. I completely fucked that up. Um, I was trying to show you guys some shit. The state statute. Hold on one second. You know what? Let's look it up real quick. The people of the yes, that. Here we go. All right. So this is the people of the state. It's a famous phrase. This famous phrase is foundational statement of California Ralph M. Brown Act, as well as similar open government and public records laws in states like Washington, right? It means that public agencies belong to the citizens. The public workers must keep meetings and records open so the public stays in control. It means the public agencies belong to the citizens. That's what it means. They belong. Right, Chuck Bronson? Think about that right there. Oh man, it's a beautiful thing to know that the information is available if you want to research it and find out that there's no surrendered power. Citizens never give up their ultimate power to the government officers that work for them. It doesn't make sense. You guys make it make sense. Make the whole fucking policing system make sense, please. You know what I'm saying? Um, I need to shrink this. Dang it. There we go. I just was like, you can look at any of these videos, right, on this channel right here. Any of these videos. And I promise you this. The way that Brian articulates, and he will not give me a copyright strike. Brian's not going to give me a copyright strike if I play a little bit of one of his videos. But I should just point out that this is what someone with their brain in their head and head on their shoulders actually sounds like when, you know, I mean, there's some flaws. I've found some, like a couple of like minor errors, like one for sure, definite mistake, right? But it's really not a mistake because it's really they played us and we didn't know that they were playing us. But it's when Brian here from Here's the Deal, right? When talks about when Brian talks about your rights, what he usually does is he uses the word unalienable, but if you go to every state constitution, right, in where they have their Declaration of Rights for the People, it doesn't say alienable rights, unalienable. It says inalienable with an I N instead of instead of a U, right? And there is actually a reason why that exists. The whole unalienable, inalienable kind of deal there, right? Watch this. So apparently I'm sharing the screen still. We got the words mean exactly the same thing. This is what it says. The words mean exactly the same thing. Difference between inalienable and unalienable. Incapable of being taken away, denied, or transferred to someone else. Right? These both use the root word alienus to indicate that the right in question cannot be surrendered. The choice between the two is mostly a matter of context or preference. Oh, really? That is such a bullshit answer, you guys. Watch this. Inalienable. This is the standard, preferred, right, spelling in modern legal and philosophical writing. It is the correct term to use in almost any contemporary essay or document. Now, what is unalienable? Unalienable, this older spelling is primarily used for historical reference. You probably already finished reading it. Yeah, see, unalienable, quote it if you're going to, cite the Declaration of Independence. By the way, which is not positive law. I want to add. People out there trying to use the Declaration of Independence as if you can use it to protect you on the side of the road or in court. Don't try it, please. It's not positive law. I don't recommend it, and it's an educational only statement, not advice. Um, Unalienable. This older spelling is primarily used for historical reference, that they are endowed with unalienable rights. It really didn't go into that much detail. Watch this. Let me see if it'll let me. It probably won't. Hey, you didn't go into that much detail. I mean, I think unalienable and inalienable, the whole inalienable thing is being abused by the government. They're sitting there allowing people to waive some rights, like some constitutional rights. You know what I'm saying? Like in a sense, like, you know, hold on. Now it wants to just go on its own. Legally, it says legally it remains synonymous, meaning a right cannot be sold or transferred. But you are highlighting a critical reality, right? Here's the reality, guys. Governments frequently, meaning very rarely, allow or force citizens to waive individual. What? Wait, what? Governments frequently allow. I'm sorry. I can't help but laugh. They always allow citizens to waive their constitutional rights. What the hell? I hate how AI will straight lie to your face. That is absolutely retarded right there. In the American legal system, while the underlying concept of the right remains intact, the exercise of that right can be surrendered. See what I mean, guys? Under specific legal conditions. Wow. Wow, guys. And that's why you have to understand what inalienable rights are. There's no condition, guys, where they can take your inalienable or unalienable right. But a municipality will, check this out, but sometimes municipalities take advantage of the whole like inalienable ambiguous definition when they try to assert that we need to shut our businesses down because of like a vaccine and nobody can travel anywhere, and everybody has to be 6 feet apart. Do you know what I'm saying? And people feel compelled to perform and waive. They feel compelled to waive their inalienable rights. That shouldn't be allowed by government. Period. Oh, you want to talk shit? Okay, I'm talking about. I'm describing a core tension. Let's see if I can. Let's see if my audience can actually hear the audio. Let me know if you guys can hear this text being read. Can you guys hear the audio being read out loud? No, you can't hear it. Okay, hold up. But you can see that shit. So that's all that matters. Give me 1 second. I have that shit playing in the background, so if you can't hear it, it's very annoying to me. Basically, the idea is that governments generally do not rely on definitions of inalienable to justify mandates. Look at that. What? Governments generally do not rely on definitions of inalienable to justify mandates. Instead, they totally ignore. Guys, look at this answer. This answer from Google about about the government. Here's my question. But sometimes municipalities take advantage of the whole like inalienable ambiguous definition when they try to assert, right? Assert what? They assert their authority basically over people. And it goes on to state that I'm describing a core tension in constitutional law, the clash between the individual inalienable and the government police power to protect my public health. To protect public health? Wait, public health? If everybody's in the private, who's the public? You see what I'm saying? Like that doesn't make any sense. You can't convert somebody's status from private into public just because they walk outside. To me that seems fucked up, and that's an issue that has not been addressed, you guys. You know, an issue that hasn't been addressed is that just walking outside somehow changes your capacity from private to public, and meaning I believe that, you know, the government shouldn't have the right to infringe on my right just because I'm out in the public. You know what I'm saying? Like, essentially, like, what I'm saying is not in the public, but in the public. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but the public is a status, and then there's walking underneath the sun. If I'm walking outside, that's not the same thing as being in the public. And that's why it's a very big ambiguous statement that whether I'm in the public or not. You know what I mean? And let me try to see what this AI agent has to say. Here we go, guys. Let's take a look and see, because I did ramble. Now it says I pointed out a deeply debated concept. Shut up. I already know that. Talking about a profound difference between stepping into physical outdoor space and submitting your legal status to government regulation. Check it, check it, check it. There's a profound difference between stepping into a physical outdoor space and submitting. I wish there were some cops watching. I don't know if. Let me just go back and look at the chat. I see I still have you here, Chuck. This is a trip, dude. I mean, my mind is literally blown by this. All right, here we go. The ambiguity, right here, the ambiguity you are sensing is real. In constitutional law, the definition of the public changes completely depending on which amendment or legal framework is being applied. Ooh, ah, ooh, ow, wow, isn't that neat how that works? Wow, your boy Autotron actually has a little bit of knowledge of the law. Um, the dual meaning of public: physical public space, a geographical area open to all citizens, such as a sidewalk, a state park, or town square. And then you have this, a you know, another meaning of public. It's the legal meaning, not the physical meaning. What? Public status. Actively engaged in public. Are you in public? Actively engaged in regulated commerce, driving a vehicle, or holding a commercial license. Wow, guys. Dude, this is a trip right here, Chuck Bronson, if you're still watching. Because what it reveals is when a cop sits there and says, hey, you're in public, right now, you're driving on the public roads, right? You're in public, that they have some jurisdiction because you might be actively engaged in regulating commerce, driving a vehicle, bro. Boom. Or holding a commercial license. Why? Why is driving a vehicle? This is ambiguous. Why is driving a vehicle in here with these other things? Actively engaged in regulated commerce or holding a commercial license, right? But then you have driving a vehicle. That's because driving a vehicle is part of holding a commercial license, and you know, it's it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. So that's being in public. That's very interesting. Don't you think that's interesting, Chuck? I think it is fucking interesting as shit. Physical public space. Right here. Public. Sidewalk. That's a public space, right? Sidewalk. Then there's this other public thing. And it has to do with commerce. Let's go. Let's go. Why? Let's go, chat. Why is it? Okay. When you step on a sidewalk, you change your physical location, but you do not automatically sign away your private rights or hand the government a blank check to regulate your body. How the private rights follow you outside. I kind of don't need that yet. I mean, I would like to follow up with you. But oh, it says right here, some municipalities actually, check it out. What do they do? Oh, they blur the lines between physical space. They blur the lines. Really? You don't say that some municipalities actually blur the lines between physical space and legal status? That is fucking blowing my mind right now. Why would they do that? Let me read this entire sentence. Where the ambiguity turns into a trap, guys. The confusion and the potential for government abuse. What happens when municipalities blur the lines between a physical space and a legal status? They often try to shift your status from a private citizen exercising liberty to a public actor subject to regulation using these tactics, conflating streets with commercial forums. Boom. Governments have broad powers to regulate public accommodations like businesses, restaurants, and shops. And for health and safety, the trap occurs when officials try to apply those strict commercial regulations to a private citizen simply walking down an open air sidewalk. Exactly. Or holding a camera. They left out holding a camera, guys. Number 2, broadly defining public nuisance. Ooh, that happens. That doesn't ever happen, does it, guys? Hey, does it ever happen broadly? A broad definition of public nuisance that just happens to include recording in public or cussing out a cop. It's so fucking funny. They have some funny fucking shit. All right, here we go. Let's get back to this. Broad defining the public nuisance. Municipalities sometimes use vague public nuisance or disorderly conduct laws to weaponize your physical presence outside. If an official can subjectively declare that your unmasked face or your physical proximity to others is a threat to the public. Let's read that again. Municipalities sometimes use vague public nuisance or disorderly conduct laws to weaponize your physical presence. If an official can subjectively declare your unmasked face or your physical proximity to others is a threat. So I think this is COVID sensitive. I think someone wrote this during COVID, most definitely. Threat to the public, they attempt to legally force you into compliance. Hold on a second. Hey, part of what you wrote sounds like someone that went through COVID-19 actually wrote it. Why did you reference COVID-19? You didn't specifically reference it, but you did give like some weird example that was related. Do you know what I'm talking about? Question mark. Let's go. Let's see what this shit says, guys. I referenced the specific examples you brought up: vaccines, mandates, blah, 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 blah. I guess so. Yeah, that's true. It followed my instructions. Appreciate it. Yep. Right. Shutting down a business. All right, let's get back to. I didn't mean to make it explain itself like that, you guys. I apologize. Okay, keeping the. I just wanted to make sure that it was on track. Keeping the boundaries clear. Physical presence is not commercial consent. Walking on a sidewalk is a matter of basic liberty. It's not the same as operating a highly regulated commercial business. I retain my personhood. The government regulates, check this out, traffic and infrastructure in public spaces, but it does not own your bodily autonomy just because you are standing on public concrete. Woo! So it's talking about Fourth Amendment right to be secure in your person right there. Absolutely. Retain retain your personhood, And then number 3, emergency powers have limits. Emergency powers have limits. And I think that this is the thing, you guys, that is being abused. I have a couple of people watching, and I appreciate you both being here. Check this out. This is the thing that's being abused. Emergency powers have limits. Even in public health crisis, a municipality cannot completely erase the boundary between public property and private liberty without facing constitutional challenges. I mean, but they don't give a fuck, right? Whether we take them to court. They're like, oh, we have attorneys. You don't have time. You have to work. So I'm not gonna. Let me see this last statement here. Are you noticing the ambiguity? Mostly everyday activities. Like, don't even ask me stupid questions. Okay, emergency powers have limits, and this is the thing that I want to focus on right here, because inalienable rights. Watch this. This is the thing that I want to focus on right here, because inalienable rights are rights that can never be taken away, and that means even during a public health crisis. And if keeping my business open means, that I'm protecting my family's life and health, then we keep the business open despite the public emergency. There's a limit to the police power, seriously, especially it can't violate constitutional rights. And each constitution, especially in California, states that all people are by nature free and independent and have inalienable rights. Among them are protecting life, property, pursuing happiness, acquiring and possessing property, and etc., etc. Now this bitch wants to say, you have correctly quoted Article 1. My argument represents a powerful constitutional theory. If a right is truly inalienable, no emergency, public health, or otherwise, should give the government the authority to completely extinguish a person's ability to feed their family and maintain their livelihood. In California and across the states, the legal battle over where the government's police power ends and your inalienable rights begins relies on specific legal principles. Okay? Here's the promise of California Constitution right here. It says, and look right here, Article 1, Section 1 of the California Constitution is actually written to be broader and more protective of individual liberty than the federal Constitution. It states, all people are by nature free and independent and have inalienable rights, period. End of story. We're free and independent. You mean I don't have to associate with you? Right. So think about the freedom of association, guys, right? The freedom of association and signing all these government contracts just to exercise, your God-given rights or whatever you want to call them, natural rights, right to travel, right to choose your choice of mode of travel. Like that's your personal liberty. The government shouldn't be able to interfere with your decision for what mode of transportation you take. I'm that is an issue that needs to be discussed and is not being discussed, and it does actually piss me off. How come nobody really talks about the right the right to choose the mode of transportation? I know that has not been litigated, but it's very important. Let's see what this motherfucker has to say about that shit. And by the way, this is Autotron here. We're just fucking shooting the shit. Let me just go back to chat real quick and chat. A couple people watching. I appreciate you guys. Let's go back. I'm pointing out areas of constitutional law that actually have a deep legal history, right? The right to choose your mode is heavily tied to the right to travel, which has been litigated extensively. While the average person rarely hears about it in the news, federal and state courts, including those in California, have spent decades drawing a sharp legal line between your fundamental right to move freely and your government's power to regulate the machines you use to do it. That's important. Let me read that again. While the average person rarely hears about it on the news, federal and state courts, including those in California, have spent decades drawing a sharp legal line between your fundamental right to move freely. There's a line between it. What the fuck? The fucking line between my right to move freely and the government's power, to regulate the machines I use. You get to regulate the machine. Look, you don't regulate the machine. I regulate that shit. I use it. You don't regulate the goddamn car. I regulate it. That's retarded. The government, Jesus Christ. Next thing you know, the government will tell me I'm not allowed to fix my car. Oh yeah, that's right. They're trying to pass that legislation now in 2026. It's fucking ridiculous. All right, you guys. I don't know. I was just shooting the shit. It is kind of late and I'm tired. I want to go to bed. We will talk to you guys later. I might just go live again and say fuck it. Hey Chuck, man, I appreciate you being here. You still here, man? If you are, no, I really appreciate you. Thank you, Chuck. I'm actually just gonna write that in the chat. Thanks for being here, Chuck. Let me stop sharing that. All right. Thanks for being here, Chuck. Everybody else, have a good night. And fucking Chuck Bronson, you fucking rock. I'll see you on your stream, bro. Peace, bro. Much love, much respect. I'm out. I'm gonna end the stream, but you know the chat's still here, right? you can still chat with me, bro, because it's StreamYard.